This is Christian Austin, the District 31 Club Growth Director. In this video, we're going to go over backing up your Basecamp and preparing for the Basecamp outage. You may have received an email about this Basecamp outage dated September 6th, 2024. Basecamp is going down on October 9th and will not be back up till October 25th. And there are certain bullet points of items that Toastmasters suggests that you should back up because they are going away in the next revision of the new Basecamp system. They tell you what to back up, but they don't tell you actually how to back it up. In this video, we are going to go through a suggested way to back up each of these bullet points and to prepare your projects for the Basecamp outage so that you can continue to work on your Toastmasters projects while Basecamp is down. There's not just one way to do this. As I show you, you can do this your own way, but I'm just going to give you an example of taking screenshots and saving documents into Word docs or Google Docs and then putting them into organized folders. So to get started, let's go and log into Basecamp. We have to log into our Toastmasters International account. Now that we're logged in, let's go to Basecamp. We are going to select the club that we're in and pull up our Basecamp. We'll see this screen. This is our Basecamp home screen. The first thing we are going to do before we start backing up or downloading projects is to set up a file structure that we can load everything into. Let's go over here. I have it set up already. I created this folder called Basecamp Backup, and I created Word documents where we could put each of the backup items. Now, what are these backup items? These backup items are exactly what we saw in the email that Toastmasters sent us. So if we look at each of these bullet points, there's either a document or a folder that we can back up each of these items into. Let's go back into the folder now. The first thing we are going to do is we are going to drop the projects that we would like to work on while Basecamp is down into the Basecamp backup home folder. So at this level of the folder, you can create sub-levels if you would like, or subfolders for the particular projects you're working on, but I'm not going to do that here. Let's assume that I am going to work on 2 different projects while Basecamp is down. Let's go back into Basecamp and let's go into my paths and let's go into persuasive influence. And let's see what projects we want to work on. Let's open the curriculum. And we are looking at level 2. Let's say that I want to work on my icebreaker. First thing I'm going to do is I am going to launch the icebreaker, and it's going to pull up the interactive screen that you usually see when you work through a Pathways project. Once this comes up, what we're going to do is we're going to navigate to the menu items down here, and we're going to go to Your Evaluation. And we see on your evaluation screen, we have Print My Project. That's going to give you a PDF version of the Basecamp interactive presentation that we click through online. We can now grab this as a PDF document, so click on there. We see we have the document here. It's Icebreaker Level 1 project. And if we scroll down, we see all the content of the project is here. Let's download this document. And we're going to download it and we're going to put it into the Basecamp backup. We're going to put it on to this level. Again, you can create a subfolder if you would like. So let's save this. And that's the Icebreaker project saved. Let's close this out. And let's say that I want to do another project as well. I want to do the evaluation and feedback while Basecamp is down. I'm going to activate the evaluation and feedback. Now I'm going to launch the evaluation and feedback. Now that the evaluation and feedback is up, we're going to do the same thing as the icebreaker. We're going to go to Your Evaluation. Then we're going to go to Print My Project, just like we did for the icebreaker. If we download this, We're going to download it against the Basecamp backup. We hit save, and there we go. We have 2 of our projects ready to go that we can work on while Basecamp is down without having to go into the Basecamp interface. Let's close that out. The next thing that we're going to look at is backing up material from a project that we had already completed. So let's look at feedback sent on Basecamp first. These are constructive comments that we would like to reference later, and they recommend screenshotting this or cutting and pasting. I'm going to go into a project that I had already completed. Let's switch over to a different path. Now that we're back on the home screen, we find feedback on this box. Let's click on it. There's nothing here, so let's go up to the ellipses and view all feedback requests. We see we have one here. If there was any other feedback that you had given to members, you would take a screenshot and then paste that into a backup document. Let's say we wanted to save this screen. In reality, there might be a lot more feedback that you had given, and you have a full screen of feedback that you want to back up. The way you can do this on a Windows PC, I'm sure Mac has a similar feature to do screenshots, but I'm doing this on Windows, so I'm going to give you that example. Windows key Shift and S, it's going to pull up the crosshair snip. If you do not have a Windows key or do not use hotkeys, what you can do instead is you can search for the snipping tool right here. You can search, click on snipping tool, make sure that this camera is highlighted, not the video camera. And then we're going to hit new, and the same thing is going to happen. And we can grab this area just by left clicking, dragging, and then releasing. And what happens that this is now on our clipboard, so we can copy this. Let's go back to our backup. And we see we have a My Feedback document I created. Paste that, hitting Control V, or you can do a right click and then you can hit one of these as a paste option. You could just paste as a picture. You can also do this in Google Docs, and you can make this bigger or smaller. You can also zoom in. This is a bit hard to see in this size document by going here, and you'll be able to see the comment. It's probably better just to enlarge this and maybe clip it if you want to play around with it a little more. So let's move back to 100% zoom level. And then after we've pasted all of the screens of feedback, let's save the document. And now let's move on to the next item in our list. We go back to the Basecamp outage screen. Documents uploaded to My Documents. Let's go back to our homepage. And there is an icon at the bottom right of My Documents. We're going to go into there. And let's look at files. We have 0 for everything except level 1. All of these documents are going to go away. So I have a evaluation form here for body language and vocal variety that I want to save. So what I can do is I can open this. And now I have my evaluation there. And then I'm going to whatever PDF viewer you have, there is a download option there. This just opened up in Firefox. And then I made a folder for My Documents. And then this has a bunch of numbers as a prefix. Let's get rid of that. And then now we're back to my original file name. Hit save and go back and check. Let's look at My Documents. And sure enough, it's there. You can open it up to verify if you don't believe that it's saved correctly. That's good. Let's go back now. What is the next item? Assessing your skills. New version of Basecamp projects will be redesigned, so you will not have the before and after reflections. Let's go back into a project now. But before we do that, there is one more thing on the home screen that we can save before we go into our projects. And that is completion certificates, which is badges on this screen. We go into badges. We can see the badges that I have earned here for level 3, level 1, and innovation planning activated badges. If I want to save those badges, same thing, Windows Shift S or snipping tool. And let's save my badges by left clicking, dragging, releasing. It's now on the keyboard. And what I can do is go back to my backup folder, and I created a document called My Badges. Let's open up that document. And it's a blank document. Hit Control V or right click and paste picture. There we go. It's pasted in. I have my badges saved. You can put a title here if you'd like, some commentary at the bottom. Let's save that document and let's close it. Let's close the My Feedback while we're at it as well. There we go. We have that document with my badges all saved. Now let's go back. And what is the next thing we want to do? Is there anything else? Meeting roles, that's not a project. That's also in the home page. Let's save the meeting roles. Let's go back to home again. And how do we get to meeting roles? There isn't anything that says meeting roles here. Well, in fact, what it is, the meeting roles are actually up in this gear under My Account. So if you go into My Account, we see all your preferences. We see the meeting roles you've taken. I have a general evaluator role that I recorded here on May 7, 2022. You may have a lot more roles filled out here for your club. So the way we would do this is, again, we're going to use that snipping tool. And we are going to highlight all of the screen. You can zoom out too, and the zoom option if you can't see all of your roles, which there may be a lot. There's multiple screen fulls. You can cut one screen, move down again, then start at the bottom of the last screen you cut and cut another screen as well, because we're going to be posting these into a document like we did previously. Let's go into meeting roles document that I created now, and let's Control V to paste. And if there were more pages, you can paste below. As an example, paste here, I paste below where this is. I have a second page, etc. But since this is the same, I'm going to delete this. But that's what would happen if you had more pages. You would save all of the pages one page at a time or below each other. If you shrunk this down, you could probably fit multiple on one page. Let's save that now, and that completes saving my meeting roles. I don't think there is anything else we have that does not belong to a project that we need to save now. At this point, we can take a look. We had our Assess Your Skills as a particular project. Understanding your leadership style or understanding communication style is another one. Story collection tool and engaging humor. All right, now all we have left are items that we want to save in particular projects. Let's go to Assess Your Skills. Back to Basecamp. Let's go up. Let's go to Home. Actually, we can just go to Paths and Learning to go directly to your paths. We don't need to go back to the home page, because we already saved everything that we need to on the home page. We're back in our curriculum. The next thing we're going to do, I want to save out items in my understanding your leadership style. Now, I'm using this as an example. All of these projects you've completed, you can do exactly what I'm doing for understanding your leadership style to back up your feedback and, if applicable, the worksheets on your leadership style assessment. So let's go first and let's back up our feedback before and after. So let's launch this project. Like before, where we downloaded the PDFs for projects that we want to work on, we're going to go down to this bottom drop-down menu, and we are going to navigate to the particular assessments that we would like to save out. So we want to save Assess Your Skills before. So here we go. We're going to save this again. Save this whole screen, and we're going to paste multiple screens here. So I created a folder for the particular project. This is the pathway, and then within here, I've created a document for the particular assess your skills. So I can create subfolders. What I did is just created one document, and in the one document, I put under the project in one heading, and you can do a heading by hitting Alt Control and then a number. This is actually Alt Control and 2, actually Alt Control and 1, which is the biggest, and then before and after is a subheading. So this is Alt Control and 2, and this is Alt Control and 2 as well. Then for each of your projects, you can put project 2, and then you can hit before and after. It's probably easiest to just paste these. So you can copy, you can paste under here, the very end, next line, paste, that's before and after, and then Control Alt 1 to make that the right size. And there we go. I just opened up my before assessment for understanding your leadership style. So let's go back to that. We already did a screenshot. So we go back to the Word document. We can go under before, hit Control V. Actually, I have to re-copy it because I just copied the text and I don't want to paste it again. So again, let's use the snipping tool. Let's snip this. Let's go back to the Word document. Let's paste it. There we go. And then do we have another screen? Let's go forward, assessing my skills. Oops, that's not what I want to do. What you want to do is go to next. So that's the next screen. Let's snip this. And we'll keep on snipping these screens until we get to the end. Let's paste that. Let's go back and let's snip the next screen. Clicking next, we're on the third screen now, and we're going to repeat this process until we get to the very end of your skills assessment, where we have 6 different screens, and this next button grays out. We are going to paste those all into the Word document. You can see I'm back in the Word document. I just pasted all of the screens in. The next thing we want to go is to the after assessment of this project and do the same exact thing we did for before evaluation for the after evaluation. So let's go back to the project. Let's go down, and then your evaluation. You've already completed your evaluation. You're not going to do that again. You click forward and you get your feedback from before and after. It's noted here that you could just use this screen if you wanted to for the feedback of before and after, if you didn't want to do a screenshot of all of the befores. Let's take a screenshot of this now of assessing your skills. And we will paste this into a Word document in the after section. Control V to paste that. And at that point, we are done with our before and after skills assessment. If you had another project, you could complete the same thing for project 2, but this project 2 would be the name of the project that you're completing. Let's go now to the next item of what we have to back up. That's understanding your leadership style or understanding your communication style projects. These are the questionnaires you went through in these projects, which are not going to be transferred over to the new Basecamp system. Let's go back now into our projects. And I'm hitting back, but we're going to go on the same project. Let's launch this again. And this time we are going to look for the survey that we took to assess our leadership style, and we're going to back that up. Let's go down to the menu and click on competencies, then click the forward arrow. Once we click the forward arrow, we see this discover your leadership style. This is the survey that you took. Let's get rid of the directions by hitting down. And then as we scroll down, we see what the answers were to our questions. And we are going to back all of this up. So we can see 4 rows per screenful. Again, let's use our screenshot tool. And let's grab the first screen. We have another Word document that we created called Leadership Assessments. You can have communication style assessment as well if you're going to be backing up that project. And let's paste. And let's grab the next screen now. Remember, we have 4 rows per screen. So let's go back, get rid of that. We have another 4 rows. Let's screenshot that one. Go back to our Word document. And let's paste. Go back. Scroll up until we have 4 more new rows. Screenshots. Word document. Click down past the picture. Hit enter. Control V. Back, and let's grab another 4 rows. For the sake of the length of this video, I'm going to say that I just repeat that process until I get to the very end. You see the scroller bar here. Let's go and see what the Word document looks like after I just pasted that screen. I had the screens above it, so I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 screenshots in total to capture, discover your leadership style. That is the end of capturing the survey for leadership style. Let's see what the next item is. It's story collection tool and engaging humor path. Since I do not have the engaging humor path, I cannot go through this example. However, that information you recorded won't be available, so you want to go into the story collection tool and you want to create a document like I did here with the story collection tool. You can title it, go take a screenshot of what that screen looks like, and then paste it into your document like we did with these other screenshots, such as discovering your leadership style. And then you'll have a story collection tool document as well. Well, that completes all of the bullet items here that Toastmasters asked us to back up. The last thing that I would like to point out here is that if you have free Toast Host, you can download the evaluations for each of the projects. You can also keep track of the projects that you completed while the Basecamp was down by making sure you enter your projects, your pathway, and your name and introduction to your speech in free Toast Host. You can ask an officer of your club to pull the log from free Toast Host to let you know when you completed a project. You can go back when Basecamp comes back up with the approval of your Vice President of Education and enter that project, which is recorded in free Toast Host, into Basecamp. You can also record that into one of your personal notepads as well. And again, with the permission of the Vice President of Education, if you completed that project while Basecamp was down, you can go back and enter into the new version of Basecamp all the information you need to complete that project so you can continue to work while Basecamp is down. The last thing to note is if you do have free Toast Host, once you enter the project in there, you can get the evaluation form from that interface. Go see tutorials on free Toast Host on how to use that if you have not used that before. If your club does not have it, better off your club does have it and you just need a tutorial on how to use it. Your Vice President of Education or another club officer may be able to teach you how to use that. If you do not have free Toast Host, the other thing you are going to want to do is you want to download the evaluation resource in the projects that you're doing as well. Again, you don't have to do this if you have free Toast Host, it's already in there. But say you don't, let's go back to Persuasive Influence where I had the icebreaker speech and I also had the evaluation feedback. So what do we do if we need an evaluation form? Let's go back in the project. When we downloaded the project in PDF, we could have downloaded the evaluation form as well. So you don't have to go back into it, but I'm just going back into it to show you right now what you would do. So again, we are at the Your Evaluation screen in the menu, and we see we printed project before, but there's also the evaluation resource. So let's click on that. And this is the icebreaker one. Let's download that into our folder. We already have here my documents. We don't want it there. Here is our icebreaker project. Let's now name this something useful. Let's call it the icebreaker evaluation resource. And we can save this. Now we have the project and the resource. You can now do the same thing for the evaluation and feedback. You launch it, and then you're going to go into the screen that is your evaluation, and you'll see the evaluation resource there. Complete that process for each of your projects that you have, and then you'll have all of your evaluation resources in addition to the PDF versions of your Pathways projects. You have everything you need here all backed up, and the projects you need to work on while Basecamp is down. Again, keep track of the projects that you have worked on in a notepad or in free Toast. And then when the system comes back up, ask your vice president of education, verify with them that they saw that you completed the projects, and then enter them into the new Basecamp system to continue on your pathway like the system never went down. I hope this tutorial was useful, and I hope you have a good Toastmasters year and a great experience with the new Basecamp system.